Hi, welcome to Eileen's Craft Nook. Today I'm making a phone holder. I've had this mold for a little while, but this is my first time making it. Now, I wanted to make it winter themed, so I had these craft papers that I had gotten from, actually, I don't remember where I got them from. Probably, I think it was from Temu. And I have the snow glitter, and I'm going to use a little bit of my some snow confetti for the back, and then use the paper on the front. And so I'm just getting these cleaned up and make sure there's no, you know, bits in it. Now, this snow glitter I've used before and once before, and it's pretty. I can't remember where I picked it up though. I think it was from Dollar Tree, I believe. Now, the thing is, I like the big snowflakes, but this has some smaller stuff in it that kind of gets gloopy. I'm not sure why, but you kind of have to finesse it. So you can see here, I'm going to you take a minute or so to kind of move these around, separate the larger snowflakes, and smooth everything out because I'm just doing a thin layer. This is, a pretty thin, it's a pretty shallow mold, and so I don't want, and I want to put the paper on top, so I got to make sure that there's, nothing, it's not too rough, and those snowflakes aren't sticking up. So I'm just going to play around with it a bit, add in my resin as I go, and just kind of smooth out those snowflakes to get them evenly placed. Now this is the back of the mold. So when you do this mold, what you see is the top of the mold, and so this will be what you see from the back. Although, I mean, you could always turn it around and make this the front if you preferred this to the paper. You could do it either way. But when I'm making this is going to be the back of the mold. So I'm going to just get this all done, and then I'm going to give it a spritz and then let it dry. And I'm going to get my paper cut out. When I did the paper, what I did was I put the mold on my. I have a I can't remember what you call it. It's a light, and I put it on the light. It's a light I use for my diamond painting. And then I was able to put the paper on top, and I could see through, and I just traced it with the pencil. And then I cut it out. So that's how I was able to get the proper shapes for the paper. That was the easiest. Light board, I guess is what it's called. So now our first layer is dry, and I'm just putting this paper on top. I wasn't sure if I should just do the paper and then put the resin on top, or put a layer of resin underneath and then add the paper. That's what I went with. I'm not sure if that was the best decision. I don't know if I could try it with this laying the paper and put the resin on top, but anyways, I just went with putting the resin down and then laying the paper and then adding some more resin on top. I did add a little bit of sparkle to the resin, so that when you're looking at it, you can see some sparkle coming through. So I'm just fitting it in here, pressing it all down, and you can see the resin's coming up in the corners, and I'm just using my fingers to smooth it down and make sure that there's no bubbles underneath the paper, and and make sure it's good and smooth. Now, the other thing you could do, and this turned out fine, I didn't have to, but you could put like a Mod Podge or something, or acrylic on the not acrylic, but like a varnish polyurethane or something on the paper if you wanted to seal it beforehand. I didn't find it, if you thought there was any chance of the colors running or anything like that, you could do that. This turned out fine without doing that. And so that wasn't needed, but I had thought about doing that. And I'm just going to do the same with the stand part. Get that resin down, put the top in. I had to trim this up a bit more. I'm not sure what happened. I'm sure it fit before when I first cut it out, but I don't know. It didn't seem to fit right. So I end up taking my X-Acto knife and just trimming it a little bit more in that top right corner, so that it fit in a bit better. I was going to leave it, but I thought it might not cure properly if that paper was sticking out. So I did take that and give that a trim. just to make it fit better. And I'm just cleaning it up because it did come over the edges a little bit. I'm going to fiddle with these for a minute or so just to make sure that there's no bubbles underneath that paper. Just kind of smoothing out. You could kind of see in the paper where there were bubbles because it was a little bit lighter. So it kind of gave you an indication where those bubbles were in it. So there you can see I trimmed it up. I just grabbed my X-Acto knife, cut it right there in the mold, being very, very careful not to touch the mold, and also making sure I cleaned off my X-Acto knife with some isopropyl. All right, let's take a look at some of the extras I made. So when I did the back, I had some leftover with the snowflake confetti in it. So I had this little tiny pyramid that I poured. I poured another one of my little desk kitties and a skull. And then when I did the top coat, I had some left over. So I did a little paw. I added some glitter to it and did a little paw. That one came out cute. And I did this little succulent. Just threw it on the floor. Have this little succulent I did. This is a two-piece project, so when you take this out, you flip it to the other side and do the other half. But I'll show you. Oh, may not got enough resin right there. It's pretty soft. I have to be careful. Oh, this one may not be ready to come out. Oh, there it goes. And then what you do is you flip it over, tuck it over here, and then pour the other side. It's like that. So I'll do that with my next leftover resin. Also had this tree one. This might not be ready to, I'm not going to take this one out yet because it's soft, still soft, and those branches are very delicate. Yeah, I'm going to wait for this one. Okay, so let's take a look at our... Oh, I also had this turtle. I hadn't poured this mold before, so I poured him. Look how cute he is. He's so sweet. And there was also a crab in here. I poured the crab. I just used some micas and painted the mold with the micas. Look at, isn't it cute? Okay, so let's take a look at these. Now, I know that these are going to need to be trimmed up, but let's get them out. Okay, I think they turned out nice. Like the color. It's got a little bit of that glitter on the top. And I mean, you can use it from the front or the back. That's the nice thing about this. It's reversible. So if you prefer the back or the front. Well, I'm going to trim this up and I'll be right back so we can put it. I had to let this dry a bit more. It was so I made the mistake of trying to push this in and I kind of squished it a bit. The way this goes together is this piece fits into the slot from the back here. And it just pushes in and then it holds up like that and you put your phone on it. My phone, I'm recording from it, so I can't really put it in there to show you, but I will, I'm going to glue this together and then I'll grab my phone and do that. So to put this together, I'm going to use a little bit of the glue gun for immediate hold, but for a permanent hold, I'm just going to use my the Beacon 3-in-1. You could use any glue, but as always, I do suggest that you don't use your glue gun as a permanent hold because it just doesn't stick to the resin very well. So I'm going to put a little bit of the beacon glue in here first, because you don't want to do your glue gun first because it dries too quickly. And I'm just going to put some along here, and I don't want my glue gun glue to be with the the beacon glue. So they're going to go into, I'm going to put these in a couple spots and then put the glue gun glue in between. I think my beacon glue is getting a little old. It's getting stringy. Okay, so then I'm going to take the glue gun and I'm just going to go in between here. And while that's still wet, I'm going to quickly slide this in. Wait, better go the right way, Eileen. Just like that. And then we'll let that set. Just going to hold that till it sets. And then I'll make sure that glue, get any strings off from the glue gun. I just need the glue gun to set. Okay, so let me grab my tablet so I can record the tablet and put my phone here so you can see what it looks like. Here is the finished phone holder. I wanted to do my dirty screen phone. That's what happens when you're working with resin. I always keep a cover on it. But as you can see, it stands up nice. I have it here on my desk, and I'm pleased with it. I'm just going to leave it here. I'll use it while I'm working. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining me. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.